wanted, I'm going to read a story. The title of this story is The Fishing Derby. Louis leaped out of bed and yanked on his clothes. He has been impatient for this day all year. Today was the Deer Lake Fishing Derby. Last year, other kids had caught fish and received prizes, but not Louis. Not one fish had nibbled on his line, and he had gone home disappointed. But this year, Louis was determined to win, and he had a secret plan, a plan that was so super secret he hasn't told a single soul, not even his dad. Hurry up, Louis, Dad hollered. We don't want to be late. Dad perched a tall white chef hat on his head, his red apron flapping like a superhero cape as he hurried to the car. Every year, Dad cooked hot dog and hamburger at the Derby picnic. At Deer Lake, it was a super day for the fishing derby. There were so many kids, big and small, ready to fish. Would Louis' totally secret plan help him win the prize? Police Chief Dogan was the announcer and would measure all the fish that the kid landed. Third prize is for the smallest fish, Chief Dogan announced over a bullhorn. And the grand prize is for second prize is for the first fish caught. And the grand prize is for the biggest fish caught today. Good luck, kids, and no running with your fishing pole. Ready, set, go! Deer Lake Derby had begun. All the kids except Louis scrambled to the lake and began to fish. Louis walked along the water edge, away from the noisy crowd, until he found a secluded spot where he would fish alone. He put a flat worm on his hook, tossed it into the water, and wait. Most of the kids had crowded into the fishing pond, the fish lines crisscrossing and getting tangled in the water. Look, I got a fish already, said Michael Yao. The grand prize is mine. He jumped up and down with excitement as the chief Dragon measured the fish and quickly released it. It's an impressive fish, Mayuki, he said with a grin. But remember, the derby isn't over yet. Fishing far from the other kid, Louis stood quietly. Splish! Splash! What was going on? Curiously, Louis looked over toward the other kid. Splash! Carlos had slipped and fallen into the water. Splash! Amelia had dropped her fishing pole. Splash! A crying toddler had thrown her dolls into the water. Splash! Kian had fallen off the log and had been perched on. ignored the uproar and focused his attention on his fishing pole. No fish yet. Louis waited quietly and patiently for a long time. Still no fish. What if his unbelievably secret plan didn't work? Tug, tug, tug. A huge fish bent and tugged at the worm on Louis' fishing line. Very carefully, Louis reeled in the most enormous fish he ever seen. Chief Dragon raised over and measured the 6 silver fish, and then he slipped it back into the water. Over the bullhorn, he declared the Deer Lake Fishing Derby over and announced the lucky winner for catching the biggest fish of the day. Louis won the grand prize, a new bike. Dad was so happy. What was your plan, Louis? He said, flipping hamburgers on the hot grill. Did you use your lucky worm or your special fishing lure? Louis grinned and climbed in his shiny new bike. I winked for the noisy kid to frighten all the fish over to me, he said. And they sure did. My super secret plan worked great. How did Louis feel about this year's fishing derby compared to last year? He was excited. He was disappointed. He was mad. He was scared. I chose A. Wish our following was a secret. Louis dad cooked during the fishing derby. Louis went off the fish to fish by himself. Louis was excited to win the fishing derby. Louis wanted to wait for the noisy kid to make the fish come to him. I chose D. Why did Louis decide to fish alone? He wanted to be noisy. He didn't like the other kids. He wanted to be somewhere quiet. He wanted to wear a superhero clothes. I choose C. Why might one of the rules be that kid couldn't run with a fishing pole? Running with fishing pole is dangerous. They didn't want any other kid to start fishing before the other. They didn't want the fish to be out of the water too long. All of the above. I choose A. How was Louis probably feeling when he didn't think this plan was working? Frightened, disappointed, excited, happy. I choose A. Read the sentence. Louis caught an enormous fish. What does enormous mean? Very small. Good to eat. Very large. Bad smelling. I choose C. Why was Louis that happy after Louis won the grand prize? He knew Louis really wanted to win. He did not have to cook any more food. He liked it when people became quiet. He could see Louis' shiny lure to catch his own fish. I choose A. What is the best summary of Louis' plan? Louis had a super secret plan that he did not tell his dad. Louis' plan was to scare the fish into biting his fishing pole. Louis' plan was to wait patiently for fish to be scared by the noisy kid so he could catch the biggest fish. Louis had a plan to use a lucky worm on his fishing pole to lure the fish to his line. As you see, which trait best describe Louis? Aggressive and mean, patient and smart, smart and fearless, angry and loud. I choose B. What caused Louis have a super secret plan for this year's fishing derby? He did not want his dad to know he did not like hamburgers. He did not want other kids to know he had cheated. He had not had a single nibble the year before. He liked keeping secrets. I choose C.
Click on the items with the red X and find a better answer to improve your score and earn more stars. Use the book as you take the quiz to help you find the best answer. When finished, click Done.
I got 9 of 10 correct. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.